Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, Insider, intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us with Disclosures. And I'm here with Peter the Insider. We have some very interesting and very, very important information to bring in. And instead of going over a lot of the different topics, answering questions, we're going to save that for another show, which is going to come up soon after. But this show in particular is going to focus on a very important event that's come up, and so without further delay, I'm going to bring in Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello. So we've got very important stuff to talk about. It will be only one topic. We need to stay focused, not to get aside. Okay. So I don't know. You read few articles. So maybe you can talk about what it is like background politics things, and I will start with the similarity of the game. What with this what is happening in last few months, maybe years, but few months it's extremely intense. And then we, as I like to say, we are good to go. So you start.
Okay. So it all started with this news that came up within, I think it was yesterday or Wednesday the 15th, this article came out. I know that there are some other videos regarding it. I'm reading from The Guardian. This article about Russian government quits as Putin plans to stay in power the past 2024. And the word resignation keeps coming up. And so, you think of resignation, what does all of this mean? I mean, it doesn't seem to, how can a whole government resign? So the president accepts PM's resignation ahead of a possible referendum of constitutional changes. Vladimir Putin
I just need to interrupt you because maybe people, they are not. The English is not their first language. PM means Prime Minister. Sorry for interrupting you. I don't want to do it, but maybe it will be fair enough to use full terms. Okay. Sorry for that.
Oh, I was just reading the title, but yeah, no, we're going to go into that. So Vladimir Putin has embarked on sweeping reshuffle of Russia's leadership, accepting the resignation of Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev and proposing constitutional amendments that would enable him to hold onto power even after leaving the presidency in 2024. In a surprise move, Russia's government said, "I would resign in full just hours after Putin announced plans for a national referendum that would shift power away from the successor to the presidency." Putin's shakeup sent shockwaves through Russia's political elites, who were left pondering what his intentions were and speculating about the future cabinet appointments. The president is laying the groundwork as he prepares for a transition in 2024 that analysts say will likely see him abandon the presidency but remain Russia's dominant politician in a beefed-up role as Russia's prime minister or in the government's state council instead. The 67-year-old has, in fact, ruled Russia since 2000, making him the longest-serving leader since Stalin. And what he plans to do in 2024 remains the most important political question in the country. In a televised speech before the senior officials, Putin suggested amending Russia's constitution to limit a future president to 2 terms in office. He has served 4, tightening residency requirements to 2 terms in office. He has, requirements for presidential candidates and letting Parliament choose candidates for Prime Minister and Cabinet, in effect weakening the presidency. Shortly after the speech, Medvedev said Russia's government would resign in full, allowing Putin to appoint new ministers. Medvedev, who also announced his intention to step down, was appointed to a new position as the deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, which is headed by Putin. Russian media reported that the government ministers were blindsided by the decision to resign. Russia's tax service chief, Mikhail Mishustin, has been chosen by Putin as Medvedev's replacement, the Kremlin said later on Wednesday. The 53-year-old has worked in the government since 1998 and kept a low profile while serving as the head of the Federal Tax Service since 2010. Putin presented his amendment to the Constitution as a significant change to Russia's government document and called for the first nationwide referendum since 1993 to confirm them. An elections official said within an hour of Putin's speech that a referendum could be prepared as soon as proposals to amend the Constitution were formalized. Margarita Simonyan, the head of the RT television station, wrote that effectively power in Russia is moving to the legislative branch. Less credulous observers saw an attempt by Putin to lay the groundwork for a transition of power in 2024, when he should, under the Constitution, step down from the presidency after serving 2 terms, back-to-back as Russia's head of state. There's more here. I could read the entire thing, but I think you could take it from here, Peter.
Yes. So basically what happened is that Jessica, you read those are basic facts. Our listeners definitely need to know. What means that the presidential-oriented democracy in Russia turned to how can we call it? Like to parliamentary-oriented democracy. Can we call it that way? What do you think? Parliamentary. What do you think? Can we call it that?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I mean, they literally just gave him power to make this change within an hour. It's they said.
Yeah. Parliament or Congress, but Parliament is better because there is nothing like 2 or something like that. I mean, they've got 2 systems of parliaments, but it is different than in US or something, right?
Yeah.
But what are the basic facts why all of this happened? Okay, everything starts in the middle. We can call like in the edge of spring and summer 2012. Once the bleed-through of multiple context of existence, it was extremely, even for us in ACIO, it was and is still extremely complicated to determine. Either we are talking about timelines, realities, worlds or universes, megaversions or dimensions or something like that. And all of this stuff extremely, as I told, almost impossible to determine 100%ly. It just merged together, and it starts to appear all around Russia. You know, Russia is all around Russia in the first 3, respectively 4 years, what means from 2012 till 2015, and then first outside Russia appearance occurred in Kazakhstan. So, and then it was massive, but in former USSR states, but situated in Asia, right? And why I'm talking about all this stuff? Very easy explanation. Because those appearances, I mean bleed-throughs, they were not some random bleed-throughs, but they were like some sort of mixture, very weird mixtures of cities, not only situated not only in Russia, either Russia or former USSR states, but in continental Europe or northern parts of America. So I'm talking like US and Canada, sometimes from Australia, you know, and they want to hide it desperately. So they blindfolded people with some sort of crazy stories. They were absolutely like like unbelievable, but they used to do so with this also called truth serums, but it wasn't used like a serum, but it was applied via some sort of gas, and it doesn't make any sort of destruction or negative influences to the brains or something, but it was some sort of ground for this, how can I call it, completely mind changed brainwaves, you know, and people was, and that's it, people was actually happy about these appearances, and they don't, because in the first place, once they were not faced by this let us call them perfumes, and you will definitely, and our listeners will definitely know what I am talking about. So perfumes in first place, and those very special frequencies in the second place, they also start to report it massively, but then they simply start to be pretty much happy. In first place, they ignore it, and then they will be pretty much happy. They was pretty much happy about that. But since 2016, and that's pretty much crazy, it started to happen practically all around the world, and that was it. Why I am talking about it wasn't gas, it was technically a perfume, but perfume without any odor. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. The people wasn't able to smell it in the air, and that is the problem, because they've got their own, as we can call it, Delphi system, but it was because there was USSR, so it was government, and it is still government owned, and at least we believed so. But now, once USSR collapsed, there are certain oligarchs. They are cooperating, but that is it. We don't know if they are cooperating with government in a good or bad way. But oligarchs, they are not doing anything without getting any further either actual or further benefits, So that's pretty much it. And there is they call this what is it, Bleedthrough construct. So I'm talking about the Russian government, Tarkov, believe it or not. And there is video game called Escape from Tarkov, and try to guess why. Because those people, they are living in some sort of bubble reality. They desperately want to get out, but they simply can't, because it is something what doesn't belong here, but despite of it is here, because it's Bleedthrough.
Peter? So
yeah.
All right, so let's just do a quick review. So it's Escape from Tarkov, Tarkov. It's a video game, and now
just don't use V, because in transcription from Cyrillic to Latin, it's F.
Tarkov. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because those this very world famous piano manufacturer is Petrov. Double F, and they are a Russian family, lived in in Czech. You know them. So.
Yeah. So that's my American accent. So I apologize for that, but anyhow, let's go over really briefly of the game itself is a let's say to define the game, it's a post-apocalyptic survival first-person shooter game, and similar to many of the other shooter games that they have out there. However, this one particularly takes place in the USSR or the Soviet Russian area.
Yeah, but give me a second, because you those basic facts are okay. Those are just flagged facts, as I like to say.
Right.
But you don't get the most important thing. The developing of this game started in 2012. So exact same year when those Bleedthrough starts, and the official alpha version, what is it, like alpha, what means it is very, I don't want to say unstable, but how can I say it correctly, pre-final product, because even beta is not okay. It came out in 2015, and second alpha version in 2016. So everything you need to get to the facts and to some solid timeline. And there is another stuff why it's of course certain developing of certain game. It can take 2, 3, 4 years at the most, but they are using very, I mean, at least from my point of view, ridiculous explanation why this developing of this game is taking so long, because there is only very small team of developers. They are using this. They used to develop it, and they are still doing this, because some of them, they stepped out of this because it was way too much for them, and they have only small amount. I don't want to say small amounts of money, because it gained popularity a lot. There is also like some sort of a hype about this, but it's still not enough for them. But what it is, that they are using this ridiculous explanation, and this game is ongoing. The development is ongoing for almost 8 years. It is still not fully developed, and that's the official explanation. So
Okay,
but that's the key stuff, key fact you need to get to our listeners, that everything of this started in 2012 in real deal, and they start practically immediately to develop the game. and once it spread it out of the not only of former USSR, I mean former Asian situated countries of USSR, but once how can I say it, like widespread it. So it was like 2016 they released. It was pretty much first playable version, what means like, okay, it is stable, it doesn't crash or something like this. It started in 2016. What it is like, what is approximately 3.5 years. Once you are hearing this show, what this is, I just want to make it clear for our listeners in future. We are making this in January 2020, I think. Am I right?
Yep.
Because I'm in different context of existence too.
January 17th.
Yeah, so I just for official record. So I just want to be 100% sure. So that is the most important thing you almost forget about. Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to put out the basic facts because you're gonna explain to everyone how this happened. Now I'm just trying to let them know about this game. Now some people that are gamers will already be familiar with it, especially those that are interested in shooter games. And so it started, like you said, started in 2012. A lot of the games start off very slow, or they're a work in progress, and then they get more developed depending on the money or whatever, the backing that they have for it. But my point that I was going to make here is that is there, since this game in particular has been kind of a part of this Bleedthrough, was this created by the energy beings that are part of that Bleedthrough? Did they introduce this game in 2012? Are they part of the oligarchy? What's the purpose of this here, or how did this happen?
Technically, that was I mean, once we contacted, because immediately this happened. Okay, this started to this weird phenomenon started to happen in Russia, right? 2012. We've got our contacts in Russia too, of course, and then we started to dealing with that, and then it was absolutely crazy because we didn't have any research, nothing. And crazy people, as we like to say that, I mean, not only we, but nerds. They are, very good at IT, gaming, and all kind of those stuff. Yeah, this is crazy. And they were like, hey, okay, calm down. They were like, hide, I mean, being on drugs, but that they were not. We've got crazy idea. Okay, stay calm. What are you talking about? And then they said us lots. I mean, the whole story. Okay. What kind of situation are you describing? And they started that all of a sudden, I don't know, like 50 or 60 people approximately. In the Russia, I don't know, some of them in Ukraine, in Belarus or something, but most of them in Russia, they just woke up in the middle of the night and just they start to use the hack chat. Hack chat, it's very special chat. It's like technically you write the text, right? But in the text, you make some spelling mistake. I mean, you write the letter either 2 times or for example in English once it is twice, like 3 times, or you just miss the letter, right? And because via this you will get the IP address, and it is used by darknet. So really real deal darknet, it means very dangerous stuff. Don't try this ever at home. And no, this is not by, I mean, some kidding stuff. No, don't try this ever at home, right? And they suddenly, all of a sudden, all of them, within, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, they were in contact. And it was like, sorry, weeks? I used weeks. My bad. Sorry. In 2 or 3 days, my bad. In 2 or 3 days, they were in contact with each other. And in 1 week, they make a start point. I mean, they get a meeting, then they start to develop the game, because all of them, they've got an idea about crazy story. And crazy story, everyone, they are into shooter games, they will be blown. I mean, their minds will be blown. They was like, okay, where the hell you get this idea from? And they will like, they just, I don't know, they just struggle, like, I don't know. I mean, they don't know. And that's the stuff. So I think that it wasn't just like a lightning out of the clear sky. It was done by a purpose. And it happened because of some astral beings. They need to get these strange occurrences that you need to know, because this is definitely not unusual or not normal. No, this is extremely bad, and you need to know it. Either for warning for us in ACIO, but there are another organizations, and we started the cooperation. Very good info that we are cooperating well, nothing bad. But this was definitely not a coincidence, and they were like mind blown. I was, to be honest, okay, I was shocked. I can't be shocked with just some random stuff, but the synchronicity of their minds. And if I mean how they was able to make rendezvous, if we can call it that way, in just 2 or 3 days, and then in 1 week they technically started to develop the game. That was crazy. And this happened in summer 2012.
Okay.
So this is the key part of the story, and that is it. That they made solid timeline in 2012. What will happen in 2015? I mean, how it started in no, how can I say it? What was previous? What leads to the start of the story? How it? What was the break point? The breakthrough in 2015. What this was is 2016, and everything. How it blows in 2016 all around the world. So I'm pretty sure that those things they wasn't just coincidence, and this is the stuff people should know about. And now, because you told that you got some stuff about the game, you can talk about it, but I knew, because I read many things, and I don't want to say I played, because I am not into games at all. But so what do you think? Where should we start?
My question is that the people that started the game, they were in on this, so they had an awareness of this, or were you saying that they were puppeted? Which one is it?
What? Sorry?
The ones that created the game, were they a part of this group that was from the Bleedthrough or Astral?
No, you are not right.
No, that's what I'm asking you.
They were normal people.
They were normal people, but they were puppeted. That's what I said. Was it one or the other? So then they were puppeted. They were kind of guided to do this, but they didn't know why.
You mean, yes, of course. This is absolutely obvious. You are absolutely right. Yes, this is 100% obvious, because this was absolutely crazy. Because okay, hey, just slow down, take it easy, because they were on drugs, but they were not. Just that was crazy.
Yeah, kind of controlled. Now, what about all the people that have played this game? Mostly, kids, underage kids, whatever, that really like this type of game.
I don't think that underage kids are. I mean, many people believe that there are only underage kids. They are playing such games and all kind of those.
No, there's adults too. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's all different people that have played this game.
Yeah.
Where they were also influenced by the energy of this game.
That's the problem. That once you are doing something, you are practically amplifying the phenomenon, any kind of phenomenon, and energy surrounded. That's the stuff. Surrounded by phenomenon, or created by phenomenon, or something, or collected. So it is like synergy. As we can talk about synergy, I don't know how many hours, but easy. Long story short, synergy is something like 1 + 1 equals 3, because it is sometimes two depending factors, sometimes random factors. Once they are together, they will enhance the final effect not only 2 times, I mean like 200 persons, but 3 or 400 persons or even more. That's pretty much the story about synergy, right?
Right. So, the people, if a lot of the people stop playing the game, does that impact this bleed through at all? Do they need the people to still be playing, or they've already accomplished their goal by getting through?
But what do you mean by how many people stops to play? I don't think that you are right at all.
No. What if the people stopped giving the energy, the synergy to the game? Are they pretty much, there's a bleed through now, it's too late? I mean, what is the outcome here?
Yes, absolutely, because they, how can I say it, in order to be 100% correct, they gave, the game players, they if we want to call it that way, invest time and energy in playing this game. They already amplified this phenomenon. I am talking about the bleed through, the multiple layers or multiple context of existence layers, the bleed through. They amplified it too much that bam, end of story. This is now here, over there you are, but it doesn't matter because both of us, we know what we are talking about, and our regular listeners too. It is too late, way too late to make any steps to stop the bleed throughs. And not only bleed through, because it is once if it will be bleed through, only one, right? But we are talking about bleed throughs, so plural, right? So there are multiple bleed throughs in the first place, and in the second place they are still gaining the numbers, the bleed throughs, and they are appearing in different parts of the world.
Right. That's why that this show is important and devoted to talking about it, because of this phenomenon or the bleed through happening in that one location, which literally brought in this whole other nation of Tarkov.
No.
Whatever the reality it is.
Not nation. They are. It is, or it should be, originally situated in some sort of Russian-speaking countries. No, sorry, not Russian, but in countries. In countries with either Azbuka or Cyrillic, so it can be, I don't know, like Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, but in the former Soviet Union, all of those countries, members countries, they need to know Russian, and of course they need to use, besides their languages, native languages, they need to use Cyrillic and Russian language. But that's it, because in the bleed throughs there is very big and important one very big and important difference between the bleed throughs and the game, that they've got different nations and languages, right?
Right.
in those cities, appearing all around the world. That's pretty much the stuff.
So as we're looking at this, and when I said nation, I'm trying to define what this. It's almost like a reality or an overlay or whatever you want to call it. But
That's
this,
the problem. That's the problem, because they are building very solid reality, and
Right.
that's the main part of the story, because this is solid reality. And once I am telling this solid reality, this is extremely bad, because solid reality, it is not only Bleedthrough, it is like, how can I say it in order to be precise? For example, I don't want people to be high, so means being on drugs, sorry. But once you will be drunk enough, what means above certain level of alcohol, but that's the how can I say it correctly? It is not just having some promille, because some people can get, I don't know, either two or three, and once they are inhabited, do you know what I mean? Like, in common, they are not so drunk, but people, they are not used to drink, they can have 2, 3, or 4 drinks at the most, and they got, everything is spinning with them. But in the certain level of alcohol, you will be using total different reality, either that or with drugs. But not many people will tell me, this is absolute nonsense. People, even without this phenomenon, they have this sort of, what is it, ability. It is not ability, of course not. It's bad. So just for official record, we are not here in order to get people to being drunk or what, on drugs. No, but this is it what I'm talking about. That in this kind of state of mind, everything will be completely twist upside down, and this reality is merging together. And we can't guarantee, we in ACIO, because I need to be 100% precise, because this is very important, we can't get any guarantee, further guarantee, that this will have not some sort of overlay in your and very bad impact in your reality. Because as I need to be precise, that I am in another context of existence, but once in order to be familiar with your reality, we can call it like in our reality, right? So that's the stuff, that's the problem, because once it will merge all together, no one of us, even in ACIO, no one of us wants no. We are even not about to imagine what will happen, and that's the problem. And people, they are all over the escape from Tarkov. There is a hype, because this is extremely real game, and even more and more people. I mean, there are game, and most of them, I don't know, like 90, maybe 95% of game, maybe, I don't know, like 85%, but the majority of games, it doesn't matter what which kind of topic or focus we will be talking about, they are not real. They are simply okay, this is the game. I just want to shut my brain down, and nothing. End of story, right? There will be there will be how can I say it? I mean, sorry, they shouldn't be normal physical what like rules or laws. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, once you will shoot with, you know, some solid gun, as we like to say that, big boy gun, you know, there will be reverse shock or backslash, you know. But I don't know, in these games there are not, you know, or I don't know, like once you want to play some sniper game, you know, this will be extremely, I mean, there are, I don't know, like only very small amount of game, it's like real for being sniper, right? Or don't know, like once you want to play some games dealing with cars, I know that maybe it doesn't matter absolutely, like it is absolutely out of topic, but for example, okay, it is absolutely impossible to make sharp turn you know, like 90 degrees turn in 20 kilometers per hour. So it's like sorry, my bad, 200 kilometers per hour means like 125 miles per hour. It's absolute nonsense, but in these games you can do it. And so those people, they are sick and tired from about these games. They want real games. Yeah, I mean, the most, how can I say it, like they want to play real games, right? They will simply, you know, like be some sort of mirror of reality. And that's the problem. When all of these these moves of the game developers starts to build, do you know what I mean? That is the problem. Because those game developers are okay. Gamers want games dealing with that. Okay, so let's give them to, let's give such a stuff to them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, you know.
Well, that they don't see any harm in it because everything feels like fantasy. That there's no way that you can manifest anything on that level.
Yeah.
And so I have a question.
Yeah.
Has the ACIO identified what group this is that is a part of this bleed-through? Have they ever dealt with them before? Do they know who they are? Or is this something brand new?
What? Sorry?
Has the ACIO identified who this group is that are coming from the bleed-through? Do they know who they are?
This is not the group. Everything of this is from multiple layers.
Multiple layers from a dimension, from a construct,
we don't know. We can call it that. That's the problem. We don't know. Once we
never
will
dealt
know,
with it. Yeah.
Once we will know, we will be the masters of the world. Sorry, I'm just kind of annoyed, you know, because this.
But you know, you've dealt with so many other different species, you know, before. So I didn't know if they were a familiar group that you've had problems with in the past.
No. I'm just telling you because none of our known till those days known species, or I don't know, hybrids, crossbreeds, can be deal with multiple stuff, either timelines, realities, universes, megaverses, dimensions, everything, because this is absolutely messed up. Absolutely, this is nonsense.
And it's, I mean, in the history of the Earth, have bleed-throughs like this happened before?
Nope.
What has created an environment for this to happen?
Once you will have answer to this question, okay, you will be the next director of ACIO. Believe you. Believe me.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I can guarantee that this to you. No, believe you. Yeah. Believe me.
All right.
So this is what in such a deep what we are, okay. We need to use we need to watch our language. Okay.
I was also going to ask you, because we've been discussing that you've been seeing a lot of these shadow beings. Now, is that around you in particular, in that space that you're in, the construct of existence, or is that part of the bleed-through?
Yes, they saw them in the bleed-through a lot.
Okay. So which means that they're hard to see what they are. They're just like etheric dark beings. Is that correct? Yeah.
But and tall and thin? No, you are not right. Because once something is shadow, there is no certainty that it is dark. Not dark. Dark in the mean something in existence of bad way. It is just shadow.
Shadow, yeah, that's what I meant.
But because technically once something is shadow, it can be good too. Right. But you've got simply different points of perspective.
No, I know what shadow is. It means that you can't see it. Doesn't mean that it's either good or bad. You just can't quite see it yet of what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So you said that they were tall and thin. They're tall and thin. And what are the other descriptions? It sounded a bit like Slender Man, but it's not.
Yeah, something. Yeah. But it is, for example, like, okay, ego wants to eat. He's hungry, right? And he needs to, once he needs to eat, okay, his very delicious food are marmots, right? Marmots. But, you know, he is very high. How? I mean, yes, of course, he's got perfect diets. But marmots are too small, and you know they've got good color of fur. So quite the problem how to see them. But the eagle's eyes, they've got UV sensors, and can I call it politely? Once marmots pee, and they pee, of course, because they, are moving all across all the country. Okay, and then ego can see it. So it's pretty much it. It's just because of our perspective, and maybe it is perspective what means it is out of our reach of what is it like we don't have organs, good enough organs. So I mean, like eyes, either eyes or what it can be, like ears, so we can see it or hear it or something. Or our knowledge apparatus is bad. I mean, not bad, but let's call it like not good enough. So maybe shadow being can be like not bad or untrusted, but can help us. But we don't know the reason. We don't know the context, if you want to call it that way.
Right.
So there can be a lot of things behind this. So a lot of stuff can be we are just misinterpreting stuff.
Or well,
Sense
no,
organs are not good developed. I mean, our or either I don't know whom. Our knowledge apparatus is not good enough. There can be tons of reasons why we are misinterpreting things.
Can I ask, what kind of impact are they causing that people might recognize as different by the bleed through actually affecting that region right now? What are some of the characteristics or the different things that are happening that is as a result of the bleed through? Are there time anomalies? Are there some other issues going on that people can't explain? Health issues? What are the things what's the result of this bleed through happening?
The most common, most frequent time and space anomalies, what means like people go to sleep, or they were sleeping, how can I say it, like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then oh, okay, I slept for whole night, and they was like, what? This is not good. But that's it, because for them it looks like 15 minutes, and time they skip the time. Or for example, the vice versa version, and the space anomalies, it means they just skip some place, or they will spin around.
You mean like driving in circles, like, or and not getting anywhere?
Yes.
And
then often, very often, frequently, they can't get out of their properties, and they are like, okay, this is not even close to be fun, and then their cats meowing starts to meow, either cats meowing or dogs barking. Okay, I don't like to do it, but people, the English is not their first language. Cats meowing means meow, yeah, and dogs barking means how, like that. So everything, I mean, something is really bad, because those kind of animals, they are not doing this just without the reason, and then some sort of dead animal just appear in the front, either on front yard, but most on the backyard, and it is like technically ready good to go. What means you can, I don't know, make some products from uh, from uh, pig, or I don't know, from a cow or something, But they can't explain logically where the hell that pig, either pig or cow, where the hell it came from. How is it possible?
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I know people are. Well, I already know someone that sleeps only 5 to 10 minutes sometimes at night, every night, and it's like she has full dreams, like very long story dreams, and there's no way
So it
that she.
does. So there is no logical explanation for that.
No,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she can't sleep, but when she does, it's like such a short period of time that it would be almost like, how are you still alive? How are you still, doing so well? And she's alert. She's got a lot of things going on. Sometimes it's difficult, but only like a very short period of time. And when she does go to sleep, all of these things happen in her dreams. That's longer than her actual time that she was sleeping.
Yeah.
So, and of course, my situation of traveling, being close to home, and then ending up 2 towns over didn't make any sense to me, as well as every time I try to leave the house, not every time, but there are times when I try to leave the house, I cannot get out of the house in a weird way, like, or people, I get called back in, something happens, or like situations keep happening to bring me back home. So, I get frustrated because I want to go to the store, get the things that I need, and then I feel like I can't leave. It's really weird.
But this is not weird. Yes, it's weird, but it's only, how can I say it, positive confirmation about this what we are talking about, because this is not only, those stuff what we are talking about. It is not only problem. It's happening in Russia, either Russia or former Soviet Union countries. It's happening all around the world, because we in ACIO, we've got tons of reports. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and we had a cat a couple times this summer. A cat came right by the window and screamed like it was getting hurt, like really, really loud out of nowhere. And the cat, I don't own a cat. It was very strange. So yeah, all of these things you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you that it is like, people were technically trapped either in their houses or properties, but they were not starving, or they were not thirsty, because somehow, the meat, or I don't know, potatoes or something, with absolutely crazy, unexplainable circumstances, meat, potatoes, vegetables, fruits, just what the hell? How did this appeared in my backyard or in front of the door? Many people report this to us. Yes. This happened especially in Western Europe. Yeah.
The one that doesn't sleep very much is up in Canada. Is in Canada. Yeah. So, all right.
But this time, with the meals and like, as you can call it, weekly supplies in front of the door. This happened in Europe, but once you've got the bigger properties, something like this happened in North America, and all kind of those strange things, strange events, like It's very weird. It's crazy. And now let's talk about the game. What do you think, huh? Game itself.
Well, there's locations in the game. One is a lab, another one is a lighthouse, the terminal, customs, interchange, a factory, woods, and then there is a the forest or suburbs, towns. But then there's a place called Shoreline.
What do you think about Shoreline?
Well, I mean, it's right there. It's right there, and obviously it's one of the corporations.
Yeah, you are right. So what do you think? Should we write this to the people in the description? I think yes, it will work.
Yeah, and also that there's a lab there, which is very suspect. And of course, then there's the terminal or customs, which is identifying what would happen if it's a nation, right? In order to enter this space, you have to go through customs, you have to go through a terminal, you have to go through the interchange, which is the other part. They're creating and manufacturing everything in their factory, so they have everything right here that would identify as, like I said, it's almost like its own nation.
Yes, you are right, but that's the stuff that most people are just scavengers. What means they just eat or use everything what they find because they just want to survive. That's pretty much it.
But they're also looting, so a majority of the game is, like you said, the scavengers, or you're always getting what you can. I mean, the whole goal of the game is to shoot and then take the objects, take the items. So yeah, it's looting, a lot of looting, scavengers. Well, I don't know. I mean, is it stuff that they need, or is it just trying to see who gets the most items from each other?
Yes, you are right, because technically there are some sort of vantage points, if you want to call them that way, and you need to get there first, either to get there first or to get there alive, because there are several ways how to play it. It's like a multiplayer, single player, and even once you will play the multi or single player, either single or multiplayer, there are either several ways to play it, in those two most well-known systems, either single player, what means offline, or a multiplayer, what is online. But the problem, I don't say problem, but the stuff is that you will do it as a random. What is like get as to some vantage or extract point, if you want to call it this way, or to build some solid career. And this is, or made some very short story stuff, those 3 or 4, I don't know, I am not so well familiar in this game, because I'm not, as I told, I am not into the games. I just want to tell you that there are certain similarities with the Bleedthroughs, but they can't reveal the full truth. So this is very obvious.
So yeah, and we've also mentioned that since Shoreline is in there, are all of the corporations involved in this then?
Of course, yes, and try to guess who is enjoying all the surroundings and behinds. Try to guess. Of course.
Paul Serene?
No, I don't want to say Paul Serene. Of course, the Monarch. I don't know. I hate those guys. I mean, why the hell they are all over the bad events? Once
Right.
something bad happened, I don't like them at all.
Maybe they're attracting and manifesting all of this stuff too, so they're looking for it.
I don't like them at all, you know.
No. I don't like that there's a lab here. I don't know what they're doing in that lab. They don't even explain it in the game. They just pretty much talk about the shooting part, and maybe the it teaches
because this is practically the stuff. I mean, what should be the game about shooting system? I mean, the shooting part, but that's the reason why they do it like most, I don't know, 70-80% the shooting game, and the rest is like RPG, mix of RPG or I don't know what. But people, I don't know if they are either ignoring message or they don't want to think about the, all the things they are behind, because they just want to play a real game. What is like, okay, this is reality. This is not some there are some big guns without recoil, back kick, I mean, or something. I don't know. You simply can be dead once you choose. What is it like? Real. There is a certain level named real, and you will be immediately dead with one shot, right? So like real, right? And that's pretty much it. What people are interested in, and that's pretty much it. They don't want to be interested or think about, I don't know what kind of complicated stuff about the game. No, they don't want to do it.
No, they're just there to do the shooting, but the background is kind of setting up around them. But they're just like in our construct of existence. Most people are just into the stuff that they're interested in. They're not aware of all these other things that are playing out, whether it's within our government or within, our systems, the school systems, the corporations. They kind of listen and they look, but the majority of people are just living and experiencing what they think is interesting, or even following the influencers on YouTube or whatever it is, but they have their own little thing that they're interested in.
Influencers in YouTube. I don't know about these influencers. I don't know. I don't get
distractions. They're bad distractions for people to, get lost in some other belief or construct without seeing what's actually happening around them. It's a distraction, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course. It definitely is. But it is the program.
But Delphi is very involved here. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't have any belief system. I'm talking about those people, young people, because they completely washed their brains out.
Yeah. Yep, that they're all worried about their appearance, and very little, or worried about. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge following for vanity. Things that, or putting on a mask for makeup, or I mean, this is probably a lot of women can relate to this, but it's getting to be very. Even the men, they're encouraging the men to be very mindful of their appearance in an unnatural way, I think, or wanting to change their appearance, and to push some kind of ideal of what's important, and it's a physical appearance thing, but telling people that they need to conform to that as well, which is weird. And so it's a very strange thing, and it's essentially meaningless if the system breaks down, and that's all you really spend time working on. Then you're going to find out that you're going to be at a very serious disadvantage, because it's going to be bad for people unless they wake up. But going on further to the game, there's this key card that you need to get into the lab. I don't know if that's accessible in the game or not, but it seems like it's there in the background.
You need to kill a lot of people to get that, but even if you will do it, there is no guarantee you will get it once you will not kill those people in some very complicated order, because there are like this geocaching system. Maybe you it is some sort of game or something. You maybe wants to what? You maybe wants to explain people what is geocaching.
I didn't really understand. I think it's like selling, like when you loot or you get those items and you're able to sell it to others, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yes, but I'm talking about like you will loot it practically all over. Local geocaching, we can call it like in maybe your state or not state, but I mean your region. A bigger geocaching in your state means in your republic, and maybe bigger once you are doing this for serious stuff. Then why the hell not? You will do it in certain region, I don't know, like in the Europe, that's what geocaching is about.
And I also noticed in the game they have Bitcoin, which it threw me off. I wasn't expecting to see Bitcoin in the game.
What?
How does
Bitcoin,
how does that fit in? Yeah.
Because so many people, they've got illegal cheats, you mean like stuff they simply can't be or should be once you can do once you want to play it seriously, and without the cheats you can buy cheats via bitcoins.
Yeah, but the whole concept is, so is Bitcoin in this Bleedthrough?
Yeah, it is Bleedthrough, Bitcoin in the Bleedthrough. There is some sort of they are using those things they used to use it, the Bitcoin, they used to use it from our reality. Yeah, they start to use it from our reality.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen to Bitcoin then? Since they're moving in, they'll take it over, right?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I have no goddamn clue what will start to happen.
Have they brought in any other kind of service like Bitcoin? Have they brought in anything else yet?
I don't know. I don't know about it.
Okay. All right. So then it leads me to these characters in the game. Interesting names. The Ragman, the Peacekeeper, the Therapist, Fence, the Skier, the Jagger, the Mechanic, the Extortionist, and these are some of the names. I don't know if I have all of them. There might be Craper or something like that.
What do you think, huh?
Well, I think the name describes the individual and pretty much what they represent, right? So,
you are right. You are right.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? How can you explain them? Because I don't want to say that. Just I want to know if you did your own stuff. But you are the psychic, so I think that you will be pretty good in guessing, huh?
Well, I think even if you're not psychic, you kind of look at it and say, well, this is what they mean by it. But I would have to, I mean, like I was looking at the Peacekeeper. A Peacekeeper could be someone that's trying to keep the peace, or someone that picks up a gun and says, I'm going to make it peaceful. So it can be two different ways, right? You know, that's the way our society has perceived a peacekeeper.
So you mean either someone who avoid the crimes or killing, or someone who will do it very, as I like to say, easy peasy.
Yeah, they're going to force peace on people. Like, you have to listen to me. And they call that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know that you are absolutely right? That this happened actually? That there are both of them in those bleed-throughs.
Yeah. So, the Ragman made me think about a book that was written by Michael Douglas, the actor, his father, Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas wrote a book called The Ragman's Son, and he's Russian descent. So I thought about the Ragman in him and what that represented. And it could be maybe someone that's selling things or exchanging things or trading things. But I don't know. I mean, what do you call the Ragman in this scenario?
Ragman means technically the hunter.
The hunter, okay.
And what do you think that means in this context, to be a hunter, huh?
Well, it's similar to the peacemaker then.
No. They will hunt the things down until it will be the end.
Oh, so like a, what do they call it? Yeah, when you're hired, or like maybe hired or not hired, but to go and hunt someone down, dead or alive type of thing. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So the rag meaning,
but in this context, not the people, but the beings. They don't belong to the reality.
Oh, okay. So this is, you're hunting down the ones that don't belong here.
Not here, but there. But yes, okay. You are absolutely right.
Okay. So the therapist, someone that, I don't know, reasons through things, tries to listen to people, but maybe has different intentions.
Absolutely right. Yep. Different intentions. That means those kind of individuals, they are gaining all the good stuff for them, but bad stuff for people, because they know a lot.
Yeah.
So
Right.
technically, we are talking and talking, but even the greater, I mean the good people, the protagonists, all of them are antagonists.
Right. I'm trying to. I was looking at the fence, and the fence seems like, well, what does a fence do? It's sort of like either it protects or kind of blocks something.
Yeah. And what do you think it will block?
Block, maybe prevent those from getting into certain places.
Absolutely right. So they are, they don't hesitate to use any sort of power in order to protect certain places, locations, and they've got all sorts of power, what means not only killing people with guns, but via telekinesis, or something.
Oh, okay. Yep. Is it Jaeger or Jaeger or
Jaeger is technically the thing, the hunter.
the hunter? That's what I was going to say.
It is in German language.
Right. So why is there a German name here in this game that's Russian?
Try to think.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That was Western. Because that was Eastern Front in the Second World War.
So they've adapted, or are you saying that the Nazis evolved?
You are smart. Sorry, I was just, yes, of course. Nazis are I don't know.
They're
I don't
part
want
of
to
this.
say Nazis. No,
Yeah.
not Nazis. Not Nazis. Nordics are always involved. I don't want to say
Nordics.
always, but most want something.
Fourth Reich. Fourth Reich.
No, Fifth.
Fifth Reich.
Yep.
Okay. The skier.
Yep. There is something. I mean, like, once you want to get on skies, you need to get something very slick and easy, and that's pretty much it. But technically, all those people visit those kind of characters in order to get info.
Is there a connection issue? There you are.
Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Nothing complicated. They just want to get everything easy, but they can't, because that is it. People will get everything, like, they got some advantages, but everything will be bad, because all of those protagonists should be like good men, but they are not. They will be not. That's it.
So we got cut out for a little bit, Peter, and then you came back. So that we were talking about the skier. And
Yeah,
so
but that's it. I told you, the skier. It's like the people visited the skier once they want to do everything good, but it is pretty much bad, because he gained info from people, and he misused it. Pretty much as all the characters in the game, they are antagonists.
Antagonists, okay.
And technique. No, just go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up what you're going to say.
No, just finish the lists of the...
Okay. We have the mechanic.
What do you think is mechanic for?
Well, I mean, of course, for traveling or whatever, people need to have someone to be able to put the stuff together, but the mechanic also can be aggressive.
Yes, aggressive, and can get loot, so get some, certain parts from the, cars or whatever, any sort of vehicle. It can cause the either accident, or he can trade it for either for money or food or something, right? That's it.
Right. There's someone by the name of a Prapor. I don't know if I wrote it down correctly.
What?
Prapor, I think, or maybe I wrote it down wrong.
What?
Yeah, that's all right. So we'll ignore that one.
What? Can you write it for me?
Yeah, I don't even know if I wrote it down correctly.
No, you don't wrote it, and nothing. You wrote nothing.
All right, I'm gonna see, but I don't know if I originally wrote it down correctly or incorrectly.
No, you don't wrote anything. Prepper. What do you think is prepper about?
I don't know. Does that mean prepper? Like prepare something, or?
No, it means banner. Once something you need to get to be, like protected. Someone was inside, but he did bad stuff, and he just want to get. He just need to get banned. That's pretty much it. So always antagonists,
Yep. And then there's the extortionist.
So what do you think? Try to think.
Yeah, well, that's he's forcing violence for money or for something. So like a gangster, a racketeer.
Yeah, you are right.
Blackmail.
Wallet, we know.
That's another way. Yeah, what is it? Wallet.
Yeah. Wallet means something like bank.
Bank?
People,
okay.
They rich people, but they are not doing it in
It's breaking up again.
I'm here. They are not doing it like in some usurism, right? So they are borrowing money for fair, That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. And what do you think? What do you get from this list? Every single main characters are antagonists, and there are two ways how to play the game. Either kill each of them, but in very special, how can I say it, order, because you will not win. Or the second and the more complicated way is to let them get all of them to the one either house, building, or but inhabitable building, and in the best case scenario, one room without any sort of their weapons, and to gain all of the wisdom, money, and everything what they got from. That's the aim of the goal of the game.
So essentially, it's the darker elements of society, and
absolutely, that's the game. That's the game.
But that's essentially the reality that has moved in.
Yes, but that's the stuff that we, our society, technically draw attention of all of the worst parts of the world's realities, timelines, universes, megaverses, or dimensions, and we manifest it here, and that's it. We are so bad. If people will like it or not, I don't care about that. We are so bad. At least majority of our civilizations, our mankind, right here. What main reason why everything manifested? I mean, it's still manifesting here for more than, I don't know, like, what is it, like 7.5 years or something.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. I mean, you try to tell people, they don't realize how serious it is. Since this is post-apocalyptic, it's as if we skipped over the war and just went into the post-apocalyptic event. Is that true?
Yes.
Or right. The war happened somewhere else that we didn't see.
But that's the problem. But that's the problem, that we need to get over the world war, almost like World War or something like that, and in order to open our eyes. That's the stuff, that's the problem, the main part of the problem.
And because we didn't have a war, we don't realize what we've done.
Yeah, of course. We've got, I don't know how many wars. I don't know, like 100-year war, 30 years war, First, Second World War, and all kind of local wars or civil wars or something. But that's it. As many people like to say, no pain, no gain.
Is the war going on somewhere else and it's affecting us?
Yes, of course. That's it.
That's where the Bleedthrough is coming from. Is that true?
No. I mean, yes, but only from certain parts of realities. Or another context of existence, let's call it that way.
That has the war.
Yeah, you are right.
Because they're coming in as if they've already been through a horrible war and acting this way.
Yes, you are right.
So they're in survival mode.
Right.
Okay.
If you want to call it survival mode, why the hell not? Yeah.
No. When you get post-apocalyptic, and a lot of things are destroyed, and there's not much left, and nobody cares, it becomes very chaotic and no order, or life doesn't have value, to some of them, because they're in post-traumatic stress, they're in trauma, so they're just thinking of protection.
Yes, you are absolutely right. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Why is our society in such big problems as it is? because all people know I don't care, and I wouldn't care, because as you said, this kind of stress, this kind of problems, blah blah blah. No, it is nonsense. Hey, wake up, open your eyes, because once you will not, we will be we will be screwed.
So now that you've explained all of this, and I agree, Peter. I mean, I think people need to see what's important, and this they want to hear like good things and imagine good things and think that it's going to change everything. And I'm not saying that we have to be negative. It's not about that. It's being realistic and then dealing with what the issue is. What is it that we can do right now, and how do we deal with this bleed through right now?
Now, I don't technically nothing. I mean, there is no possibility how to stop it. We just need to what? To learn from it.
And by listening and looking at what the scenario is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
what is the case here? But yes, we know, both of us, we know what we are talking about.
But on a personal level, each one of us should assess our intentions and what is important. I don't know.
Important, not to care, not to be egocentric, not to be selfish, and to help another people.
Right. We need more of that, and less of competition in a negative way, and thinking that this is to outdo somebody or anything like that. It's just if everyone worked together, we wouldn't have these problems in the first place. You know, if people
absolutely, and this is what I'm talking about. First step of solving the problem is accept that there is one.
Yes, absolutely, because a lot of people don't want to admit that there's a problem. That's, yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah. What did you hope to accomplish? Sharing this with everyone. If there's anything that you think is really important for you to share, and speaking from the perspective.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what else should we think or talk about. I mean, wasn't this enough?
No, it is. No, I was just hoping for you to say that, you know, by sharing this, how this can help change things rather than if we didn't know.
Hey, and that's, I mean, people will maybe think or tell, another alibist, but this is it. Now it's people's turn. Now it's their turn. It's their turn. Not our turn. We are here just to share, to get the info out. Bam, end of story.
Yeah.
We can't do anything from people's side, you know, now.
And by people acknowledging this, it makes it easier for things to go back into a more normal motion, into the right direction. If they're at least willing to see that these problems exist, then other opportunities can come up. Is that correct?
Yes, but I am just telling you what should be our next steps. No, there are no next steps from our side. They are not. We just share the info, and we can't force people to do anything, because once someone don't want to do anything, there is no way how to do it. Hey, not at all.
That's the laws of free will. I mean, people have to want to make change. They're going to have to do certain things for themselves, and it's like they're a bit brainwashed, thinking that they're supposed to be told what to do. I think because of the way that our civilization is,
Yes, because this is it. I don't want to do brainwashing because once someone order somewhere somehow sorry, once someone to is ordering people to do something, no, that will be brainwashing.
Right. We don't have any part in that.
We are talking. Do as you want. Do as you wish. This is only our recommendation.
Right. And this is information that you know because it's information that probably we would never hear about because the ACIO has allowed you to share this information, and they're the ones that have a deeper insight of what's going on. But the news, our general public, only knows that Russia is resetting their political structure, but none of it makes any sense, and
Yes.
no one knows why. But we know why.
Yes, you are absolutely. Yes, you are absolutely.
That's what we're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they are technically making better political environment inside the country, and they are with this they are doing better position within I mean outside the country, within the international what is like political position, if we want to call it that way. Is it can we call it this way? I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean it's a complete change of what any nation has done other than an overthrow, and this is not like a literal overthrow without force. There's no force or anything like that. It seems like they understood, and everyone just went along with it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way it sounds when you hear the story. But there was something in the article. Do you mind if I read it, Peter?
Yep.
Because there's a lot of Americans that listen to the show. And in this article, the U.S. editor, John Mulholland, had this quote: "America is at a tipping point, finely balanced between truth and lies, hope and hate, civility and nastiness. Many vital aspects of American public life are in play. The Supreme Court, abortion rights, climate policy, wealth inequality, big tech, and much more. The stakes could hardly be higher. As that choice nears, The Guardian," this is the newspaper that we're reading from, "as it has done for 200 years, and with your continued support, will continue to argue for the values we hold dear: facts, science, diversity, equality, and fairness." That's from the editor. But I thought that the early part of this, about all the different issues that are going on right now and in the United States, and the Americans are still not awakening and still being caught up with these popular shows that mean nothing other than talking about someone's appearance or some very shallow discussions. America is at a tipping point, and they have to wake up. And as an American, I'm saying that I really would like to see people wake up, because, you know, there's some beautiful qualities of all different regions of the earth, and that goes for everyone that's listening in all the different places that people are from right now, to really set an intention and try to ask for the illusions to be removed, so people start to wake up to what's going on around them. So with that said, is there anything else that you would like to add, Peter, before we finish this show?
I think that everything what we should share, we shared it.
Okay, good. We will have another show discussing a bunch of other topics, but this was definitely a priority.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, well, I'm going to say thank you, Peter, for your time, and thank you for sharing this information that otherwise we'd be guessing at what's going on in our world right now, and you kind of gave us the insider view of what's happening from the ACIO, and I want to thank you for that.
So thank you that I was able to be with you, you know, and till next time. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and continue listening and supporting the show, and we will be back with disclosures soon.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.